Hi friends, welcome to SNCA Study Club, a platform for CA final students. We are moving towards 28th question A. A chartered accountant in practice is being suspended from practice for a period of 6 months. During this said period, though he did not undertake any audit assignment, since he had surrendered the certificate of practice, he had appeared before the income tax authority in the capacity of a chartered accountant, which is stating that CA, that is the practicing chartered accountant, was suspended for a period of 6 months. So we know that such chartered accountant shall not undertake any activities or any works in the capacity of a CA. But he has done what? Income tax representation. He does not perform any audit engagement, but he has performed some income tax representation. So first of all, you have to indicate this thing. If a member is suspended from practice, he cannot in any other capacity take up any practice which is separable from his capacity to practice as a member of the institute. That is, it is stated that he has been done some representation work, but he has undertaken that work only in the capacity of a member of institute, not in any other capacity. So in this case, he is doing the works that can be done by a practicing chartered accountant. So he will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct because he has clause 1 part 2 second schedule, which is stating that CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if they contravenes any provisions of the act, regulation made thereunder, and the council guidelines. In this given case, he has contravened the council guidelines or the regulations of the council. He has, even after suspension, that is, he has surrendered COP for the 6 months period, he didn't undertake any audit engagement, but he has represented himself with the tax authorities. It has been done only in the capacity of a chartered accountant or as a member of institute. That is, he has used the designation or the chartered accountant here. So he will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct. 28B and C we have discussed. We are moving towards 28D question, which is stating that a chartered accountant in practice approached manager of a nationalized bank for loan of 25 lakhs. He has also informed the manager that if the loan is sanctioned, the income tax return of the manager and staff will be filed without any fee. So in the given case, chartered accountant is approaching the bank and telling them to requesting them to provide bank loan, and if they granted loan, they will do all the income tax work of the manager including staff at free of cost. So in the given case, whether these are guilty of professional misconduct or not, this is the question A, B, C format. So first of all, section 21 you have to indicate, which is stating that a member of institute shall disciplinary action can be taken against a member of institute if he is found guilty of professional misconduct or other misconduct. This is not amounts to professional misconduct. He is doing what? Other misconduct. So you have to, by providing such an offer to the bank, he is disreputing our profession or our institute. So which is the clause 2 part 4 first schedule, which is stating that member of institute shall be deemed to be guilty of other misconduct if, in the opinion of council, if he brings disrepute to the profession or institute as a result of his action, whether or not related to the professional work. Then explain the question what is happening here. He is approaching the bank for sanctioning a loan and they are providing an offer to provide income tax return at free of cost to the managers including the staff. So he will be deemed to be guilty of other misconduct. Deemed to be guilty of other misconduct. Okay. This is the answer. So we are moving towards 29th question because 28B and C similar question. So directly moving towards 29th question. Okay. 29C question. 29A and B already discussed. Okay. C. Mr. K, a practicing chartered accountant, gave 50% of the audit fee received by him to a non-chartered accountant, Mr. L, under the nomenclature of office allowance, and such arrangement continued for a number of years. That is, or as a part of some terms and conditions, he is providing such audit fee to a non-member. So which is the clause that is A and B, ABC format? Which is the clause that is prohibiting a chartered accountant to share his fees to a non-chartered accountant? Yes, clause 2, part 1, first schedule, which is stating that CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he agree to pay, allow directly, indirectly, any share, commission, brokerage of his fees or business to a person who is not a member of institute, or to a person who is not a partner, retired partner, legal representative of the deceased partner, or person having prescribed professional qualification, or person who is a member of recognized professional body. So here what is happening? Then question here, chartered accountant is providing 50% of the fee to a person who is not a member of institute or as a part of some terms and conditions or as a under nomenclature, etc. So he will be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct, right? As per clause 2 part 1 first schedule. Moving towards 29D question. Okay, M, a practicing chartered accountant, sent letter to another firm of chartered accountants claiming himself to be pioneer in liaising with the central government ministry and its allied departments for getting various government clearance for which he had claimed to have expertise, and given a list of existing clients details, etc. So what he is mainly doing? Sending letter. Is it a wrong? I mean, is it that much of an offense sending letter to other CA? Not sending to girlfriend CA. Okay. So concerned chartered accountant is sending letter to another chartered accountant, and they are telling himself, or they are claiming himself as what superior. They have they are a pioneer liaison with the central government, several departments, providing that much of expertise service. They have this much of clients, their staff is this much specialized, etc. So clearly they are advertising, not advertising, they are soliciting client or professional work, right? As per clause 6, they can accept or they can get work from other chartered accountants but shall not make any solicitation. So you have to indicate clause 6 part 1 first schedule, which is stating that CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he solicit client or solicit directly or indirectly client or professional work through circular, advertisement, personal communication, interview. So or any means which is not open to a chartered accountant. So any means not open to CA, plus what is happening in the question. But at the same time, nothing clause 6 prohibit to accept professional work from other chartered accountant. That has to be indicated. Plus B. But actually what is happening in the question, in the given question, chartered accountant who is practice is sending letter to other chartered accountant claiming superiority, making publicity, disclosing client info, that is indirectly soliciting client or professional work, right? So the conclusion, deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct. This is the answer. Okay. Next question. Moving towards the next question, 30th C. 30th AB, we have already discussed. Mr. A has been appointed as a statutory auditor of a private limited company where his spouse, sister's husband is having 75% of ownership. So what is here happening? Chartered accountant appointed as a statutory auditor of a company where spouse, sisters has 75% of the ownership. So this is mainly with respect to substantial interest, which is the clause 4 part 1 first schedule, which is stating that CA in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he expresses an opinion on the financial statements of an entity or a business where he have substantial interest. And our institute has also provide some examples of deemed substantial interest. So now we have to explain what is happening in the question. In this question, the relative, that is spouse, sisters, has have what 75% of the ownership. AS 18 relative is not covered, but sisters, spouse, sisters, hus. That is section. And plus indicate which section? 141 subsection 3. Which is the clause? Interest. Which is the clause? D. Indicate D. So here relative, that is as per AS 18 relative, this relative is not covered as per AS 18. So not guilty of professional misconduct, because the concerned chartered accountant has not accepted audit engagement of an entity where he have substantial interest, or neither his partner have substantial interest nor his relative have substantial interest. Okay, so we have covered what? 30th C question. Moving towards 30th D question, which has stated that Mr. E, a proprietor, Mrs. E and Co. Is a statutory auditor of a company which owns his dealing computer equipment. During the 15-16, E purchased computer from the store costing 25,000 for the son. He did not make any payment and he asked the company to make adjustment of audit fee. So computer cost is 25,000. Audit fee is 50,000, right? So didn't make the payment and he is asked to adjust with the audit fee. So we have to indicate relevant clause, etc. First of all, you have to indicate basic principle of independence. That is, auditor have to be independent. Correct? So check whether it is indebtedness. Check whether it is indebtedness. If it is amount to indebtedness, actually this was the normal terms and condition that is applicable to regular customer was also taken by the stat auditor. So stat auditor, same terms and conditions applied, right? That is, in the normal course of business he made the purchase, but at the same time, if the indebtedness exceeds 5 lakh, as per the this is a company, this is what? Company. As per Companies Act, indebtedness maximum they can have what? 5 lakh. This is the limit. If it exceeds 5 lakh, then the concerned person shall not be eligible to appoint as an auditor of the company. Correct? So this provision will all be applicable in the case of purchase of computer for his son or for personal work by the auditor of a company on normal terms and conditions of the business of the company if the amount outstanding at the end of the year exceeds prescribed limit of 5 lakh. That is, independence will get effect. That is, independence will get effect where it is more than 5 lakh. Plus he is adjusting it with the audit fee. So the conclusion. What is the conclusion? Not guilty of professional misconduct, right? I hope you understand the same. I will read the answer. In the instant case, Mr. E, a proprietor of E and Co., the statutory auditor of a company which owns a store dealing computer equipments, purchased computer from the store and adjusted the payment of the same against audit fee. That is, they are making the payment. That is, irrespective of 50,000, they are getting what? Remaining 25,000. Therefore, the contention of Mr. E does not incur disqualification is correct. Is not exceeding the prescribed limit, plus the limit is not exceeding what? The prescribed limit of 5 lakh. So he will, E, who is a chartered accountant and who is a statutory auditor of the company, is not disqualified. This is the answer. Okay.